What's up, guys? In this video, we are talking common running injuries. I'm gonna give you two of my favorite exercises on fixing IT band pain. Guys, let's face it, IT band pain for runners is one of the worst things. It's not a lot of fun at all, and we can experience that pain either just outside the knee here or further up in the hip. And I want to talk about why it happens briefly and then show you how we can actually use a foam roller to stay one step ahead of that IT band pain from really crippling us for a while. Because when it gets really bad, it gets really bad. So one of the deals is this: as a runner, I'm spending a lot of time on one foot or another briefly, and what happens when we start to get tired, we lose our posture and our hip position. When I lose my posture and my hip position, my hip starts to collapse, and when my hip collapses, when I start to see all the speed wobbles come out, and when I start to get in trouble. When my hip dips this way, this knee starts to cave in, and then with every single step, my knee's diving in this way, and this is where I start to see some issues come out with your IT band. So I want to show you how to kind of fix this with the foam roller. All right, guys, bear with me. I'm going to show you my white pasty legs for a second. When I work on my foam rolling for my IT band, what's very common is that most of us just spend time on the IT band itself. But what I actually want to do is work on the muscles around it. I want to actually separate this outer part of the quad, this vastus lateralis, from the IT band, because it's usually when the quad gets stuck to the IT band, that's where we're experiencing pain and pressure. So when I roll, it's not just about rolling back and forth this way in a north-south manner, it's actually about rolling east-west. And what this is gonna do when I roll east-west this way, this is gonna peel that quad away from that IT band, and it's gonna help me out a lot. So pasty leg goes away, don't worry. I'm gonna get down here, and I can start just rolling back and forth. I could take some long, smooth north-south strokes, but this is where, once I find a tight spot, I'm actually gonna go east-west. I'm gonna grind into that forward part of the quad, and I'm gonna notice that the outer part of the quad is maybe a little tighter than I realized. And even from here, I'm just gonna show you from this angle, I can even add a little heel kick to my butt, rolling into my quad, back and forth. That's really the ticket. If I spend 2 to 3 minutes on my left leg, I can go ahead and do 2 to 3 minutes on my right leg. It's gonna make a really big difference in how those IT bands feel. So our second exercise is going to be a single leg deadlift, maybe with a kettlebell. I've got a kettlebell out with me today. Thus far, we've talked about why it happens, that collapse through the hip, and we've talked about how you can fix it by working with a little bit of a foam roller. Today, we're gonna talk about how do we prevent this from happening again? How do we improve and develop and stabilize our hips? Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is just balance on my hips, and I'm gonna be very cognizant and aware of what's going on from a hip level standpoint. Notice that it's very easy to collapse a little bit where this hip starts to drop. But what I want to try to do is keep my hips nice and square. And just doing that, my hips and everything else are going to be that much more active. The next thing I'm going to do is just work on some sort of single leg deadlift where I'm going to kick this back leg behind me. This is going to hinge me over. My hamstring and glutes are going to be very fired up, which is what I'm looking for. And once again, I'm going to try to keep those hips nice and square. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this a couple times on both feet just to see how that feels. If that's not that bad, I'm going to add a little external load. I've got a kettlebell, just found one in a park, who knew? And I'm going to go ahead and do this here. So I'm going to balance. I'm going to go just past the knee, up tall, just past the knee, up tall. And if I want even more range, I could pass the knee, then I bend that knee just a little bit to touch and then come up. I want to make sure as I do this that I'm not rounding through the back and I'm not letting this hip rotate and swivel back this way. If I could work that in, that's going to make a big difference, keeping my hips stronger and more stable. No IT band pain. Guys, that is it. That is all we got for today. But let me know what you thought. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Of course, if you have any comments or questions or requests for future videos, hit me up in those comments section. We'll get a little conversation going. Please subscribe to our channel. We've got more great common running injury videos as well as other running related content that we know you will love. And finally, we have a free gift for you. If you go ahead and click that button in the top corner or in that link down below in the description on your mobile device, we are going to send you a free training series on how to use a foam roller even better. More techniques on also how to prevent injuries early. It's such a beneficial thing. You know you'll love it. All you need to do, as I said, is click that link and it's going to send you to a page. You just need to enter your email address and then I'll be able to personally send you that free training. Once again, thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.